Welcome to Digital Asset News, where we hit top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break them down into bite-sized pieces. Before I get started, let's do a little housekeeping. First of all, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial planner, a financial analyst, or anything that has to do with finances. I'm just a small business owner that has a keen interest in cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Second, if you could help us out beat the YouTube algorithm, just do one of three things. If you could like the video, that'd be great. Comment below on anything that has to do with this video. It could be that the video was awesome or the video sucked. Doesn't matter. Just whatever it is that's about this video. And third, sign up or subscribe. Now you don't have to do all three of those things, but one of those will be greatly appreciated. So let's get into these topics. There's so much to go over. First of all, I was scrolling through my feed and I saw this little beauty. It says that Brad Garlinghouse is giving away 100 million XRP giveaway. And I got excited and I remembered, oh yeah, this is nothing but scams. Scams and more scams. Secondly, let's talk about day 3 of YouTube banning top 20 cryptocurrency YouTubers and what's going on as far as theories and what actually is going on and what YouTube is saying. Plus, more governments are embracing cryptocurrencies, and that's a good thing because we're finally getting regulation. We can get rid of these scams. And finally, former Bitcoin core developer Peter Todd asserts Ripple's XRP doesn't need to exist. So let's jump right into it. First of all, this giveaway, when I saw this, I thought to myself, wow, I just did a video about this yesterday where we talked about the Christmas Day scams. Today is December 26, 2019. I thought it was fantastic that as I'm going through my feed, I see scam and then another scam. So when you see something like this, here's what I want you guys to do. So let's click on this first of all. So you click on the video itself, and then there's some things that'll pop up and so on and so forth. So as you scroll down, take a look. There's no place for comments, so no one has an idea this is actually a scam. As we scroll up, we can see that, oh, here's the same thing. Give me 10,000 XRP and I'll give you 100,000. Scam. So look for the report button, click on that, and then report again. And then check out where it says spam. Just click on that, and that's it. So then after that's done, you're going to get an email. And it's going to say, thanks for flagging the report. It's going to give you a link of what the actual video was. It's going to tell you don't respond to this email. Responses will not be read. So you have to do there's two options here. If you wish to report inappropriate content, abuse, or privacy issues, please visit here. To submit a complaint regarding other legal issues, please visit, and this is google.com. So what I did was I clicked on the youtube.com report abuse. Once that happens, it's going to take you to another screen, and you're going to say, what is the issue itself? I picked on spam and scams, scams and fraud. And in the channel URL of the user you want to report, I just went back here, highlighted this nonsense, came over here, pasted it, and clicked continue. Let me see something. Well, that's interesting because it says not there. Let's see if it's actually still going on.
Hi, my name is Jubin.
What the F is going on? This is the right URL. Change. Let's change it. Wipe it out. Try this again. Okay. What the f? What's amazing to this guy's got 128,000 subscribers. And I'm sitting at 2. So let me click on this. Then up above you can't see it, but you'll get the URL. That is amazing. Let me take a look here. 500 subscribers. Let me get this straight. This guy got 500 subscribers every single day, no variance. Then 1,000, then 500, 500, 500. 1,000. 51. It's interesting. And you're telling me it doesn't make any sense. He's got one video, 8,300 views, and 128,000 subscribers. That makes no sense. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. Let me put this in. Let me change it. That's the channel. Enter the channel. And then it says, didn't find any Brad Garlinghouse video. Please confirm the correct username like report. Has this channel already been taken down? Because it is a scam. Well, we'll submit that and see what happens. Anyhow, moving on. So this is day 3 of not the top, but 20 or so different YouTuber channels have had their videos flagged and removed. So I found it interesting that this has reached all the way over to Yahoo Finance. Not just on the other blogs and things like that, like Bitcoinist and all those types of things, or Cointelegraph, but all the way to like Yahoo Finance and Forbes. So it's into the public consciousness. I mean, it's good to see that, but it's interesting to see like how this has progressed and why it's been going on for so long. So I watched this whole video. I'm going to put the link in the description below, but there was 4 main points, and the host, he's the guy on the right with the jacket on. And he talks about that he believes that he said that he thinks that the reason was because a lot of these YouTubers were talking about altcoins, or as he called them, S-coins. Sure, whatever. But then in the very next sentence he goes, but what's odd is that some of them also talked about Bitcoin. So I'm like, well, that makes absolutely no sense. And then like there's no shills in that group of people that got banned. I mean, people like the Modern Investor. Are you kidding me? That guy's the most up and up guy ever. I mean, he just talks about the news and gives you this opinion, and that's it. Doesn't shill anybody. Doesn't really do too much. He just gives you the news. Third thing was, it was interesting to note that Google and YouTube, this is what the other co-host said, Google and YouTube banned crypto ads last year. And it's one thing to ban the ads, but it's another thing to start to ban the content and the people within that space. So that's censorship at its purest form, and it shouldn't happen like that. So I found that to be an interesting thing that I had totally forgot. That yeah, cryptocurrency ads were actually banned on Google and YouTube. They were also banned on Facebook, which was odd because Facebook was working on their own cryptocurrency. So funny how that kind of goes about. And then there was this theory, and this was by the middle co-host, and she said, you know, if a YouTuber, and she was giving an example, she didn't give a specific YouTuber, but if a YouTuber has 30,000 followers and they recommend onion coin, tomato coin, or some made up BS coin, right? And people say, well, this guy's got 30,000 followers, just like we just saw with that Brad Garlinghouse guy. His channel had 128,000 followers for one video. That's amazing. So if they're sitting there telling you, hey, this is good, you can do this, you can make a lot of money, and then they lose a lot of money, well, who's responsible? Is it YouTube for allowing that to happen? Or is the person that made a dumb mistake because they didn't do their research? Well, in today's age, it seems like no one takes personal responsibility, and YouTube could be held liable. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of that in a bit. But I want to say that a couple of, in the comments, some people say, hey, man, that intro is a little bit too long. I know it's a little bit too long, but it has to be because it protects me and it protects you. So when I say, hey, this is for entertainment purposes only, I'm not a financial planner, financial analyst, or anything that has to do with finances, that's the truth. So you shouldn't just listen to me because I just got some channel and I'm just spouting off some information that I found. You should do your own research and find out about all this information that's out there and make your best choice. Don't listen to somebody to lead you through the valley. You have to be it, and you are responsible. And that's what makes this world great, because we've all got brains. And if you're listening to this channel right now, you're smart because you're one of the 1%. You're one of the 0.51% that got into this space. So if you're smart enough to be in this space, you're smart enough to make your own decision. And I firmly believe that. All right, this leads me to today's info. So there's been theories out there and other channels have talked about it, but here's what's going on. This was reported by Cointelegraph just about an hour ago. And YouTube actually says, hey, our bad. My bad. Made a little mistakey. So sorry. Chalk it up to me. And it states here, YouTube erroneously purged cryptocurrency education videos from its video sharing platform this week, but claims to have reinstated them, according to a spokesperson. And then, of course, it says the creators, they say that, hey, that's not true. Not all of them have been reinstated, which I can understand, right? It's the holidays. What a shitty time to have your videos taken down and have all these legal issues because it's Christmas. Do you know how much stuff gets done around this time? Not too much. Even Amazon has a hard time delivering your presents. Believe me, I know. I'm missing one of mine. So if that's an issue, this is like the worst time of all time, right? So it makes you think, what happened? What was going on in the background? Coordinated attack? Something else? Something more nefarious? Let's keep reading. So it says, the spokesperson said that YouTube made the wrong call. With the massive volume of videos on our site, sometimes we make the wrong call. And hey, who's perfect, right? When it's brought to our attention that a video has been removed mistakenly, we act quickly to reinstate it. We also offer uploaders the ability to appeal removals, and we'll review the content, re-review. YouTube has issued near identical statements after previous inadvertent video purges. In spite of this, some YouTubers claim the deleted videos were extended. Okay. So yeah. So, I mean, look, they came out in the holidays and said, hey, our bad, little screw up there, which is kind of amazing, actually, if you think about it. Because, I mean, like I said, the holidays. But like we just talked about, if you have videos on your platform, in your business, that are telling people, hey, tomato coin, it's going to blow up tomorrow. It's going to blow up because everybody wants tomatoes. And it's super important that we put that on the blockchain. People are like, yeah, that makes sense. And it's, what is it, a fraction of a penny? It's going to $1 tomorrow? Awesome. I'll invest, 100,000 in that. And don't laugh. That shit happens. So that happens, and then all of a sudden, like, damn, I'm out of my money. Who's responsible? Not me. Goddamn YouTube. I'm going to get you. And then there we go down the slippery slope, right? So like I put a little note here, it's tough when you get sued and lose and you have to pay huge fines, right? So what would happen if YouTube got sued and lost? Laughable, right? Laughable. No, it's not. Because in September 4th, 2019, Google and YouTube will pay a record $170 million for violations of the Children's Privacy Law. If you're not familiar with this just came down not too long ago. I mean, just a couple months ago. And what it was is that the problem was that the FTC brought a suit against Google and YouTube and said, hey, you are collecting the data of children and you are selling it to advertisers and you can't do that. And YouTube said, well, look, this is just a platform, and the people on the platform, we can't enforce everything. They're just putting their videos on here, and we're just allow them to do it and share it. And they went to court, took a long time, and they lost $170 million. They lost bigly. So when you lose that much money, you start to be a little bit more cautious. Now, if you've never been sued, it sucks. I personally have been sued, and it was for a ton of money. And it took me 2 years to fight it. And even if you win, you don't win. Because even if you win, unless you're the government, you still are left with a ton of legal fees, and it's stressful on you and it eats away at you. So it really sucks. But if you've ever been sued and lost or won, doesn't matter, you become super cautious. So that's what I think YouTube is doing now. Because look, there's a lot of kids channels out there, and you've seen them, you scrolled through. But as of January 1st, 2020, those channels, they can still exist, but they will not be monetized. They cannot do ad placement. They will have their comment section disbanded. So if you're a channel that deals with kids, markets to kids, or something that kids would be interested in, I know, very, very hazy, what will happen is you can't monetize it whatsoever. So all these creators for kids content, I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't see a lot of them being on YouTube anymore, because what's the point? So yeah, if you're YouTube and you're like, hey, I don't want to get sued anymore, and all these different scams are out there, all these different OneCoins and ICOs, and I hear about, cryptocurrency digital assets being used for terrorism and things like that, I don't want to be part of that. And this is why I'm always talking about we need regulation. And some people are like, I don't want regulation because I'm a freedom libertarian and da-da-da. Look, man and gal, it has to happen. It has to happen. Can we eliminate scams and frauds and Ponzi schemes? No, we can't. But it's just like having speed limits, right? Why have a speed limit? Everybody's going to speed. Well, if you put speed limits up, you can reduce or minimize the amount of accidents and problems you have with speeders. Can you eliminate speeding? No. I just did it yesterday. But you can greatly reduce it, and that's what's going to happen with regulation. And we're going to get to that also in a little bit. Now, speaking of a little bit, I guess it was next. So, governments embracing cryptocurrencies will push adoption in 2020. Binance CEO CZ, that's his opinion. Opines, I hate that word. It was reported that Changpeng Zhao, CZ, alias CZ, is the CEO of Binance, one of the most foremost cryptocurrency exchanges in the space, said, and let me just stop real quick. So with Binance, I used to use Binance, but then the government came down and said, hey, you can't do that. Regulation. And I was like, well, that sucks. But I got Coinbase. And then Binance says, no big deal. We're going to come in and we're going to have Binance US. I'm like, cool. One more exchange I can use. And I'm going to go sign up. And guess what? Couldn't do it, because you know why? I'm in Texas, and Texas doesn't allow that. So this is a problem that we need regulation, but we need level-headed regulation. And the problem with the U.S. government is that they're not stepping up and they're not doing the things that they're supposed to. However, and I'll get to this in a second, but in 2020, there are 22 different bills up on the docket to be passed on or to be regulated and looked at by the U.S. government, by the U.S. Congress. 22 different ones. And I did a video about this as well. I'll put a link to it in the description. But things that go, about terrorist, money laundering, cryptocurrency and blockchain companies, and technology in the government. So things are moving forward. They just got to figure out what they want to do. As time goes on, I believe they'll make the right decision. Some will suck, some will be great, but we're going to meet ourselves in the middle. That's how I say. Anyhow, CZ talks about this and he says, hey, there's a growing amount of governments across the globe examining blockchain and cryptocurrencies, including stable coins as well as self-regulated and global regulatory standards, which indicate more widespread public adoption. And I agree. I'm always talking about this. You cannot get the big players in until you get regulation. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the big boys, the institutions, they're not going to come in full-heartedly if we have all this crap that's going on. Look what just happened that I just talked about in my feed. You think people aren't going to get scammed? I guarantee people are going to get scammed out of it. They're going to get complaints to the government, to the different regulatory panels, and then it all blows up. So we need regulation. I'd like to get it as soon as possible. That would be fantastic. All right. And lastly, our last article, former Bitcoin core developer Peter Todd asserts Ripple's XRP doesn't need to exist. And he states, according to Larry, Ripple will be the only beneficiary if ever its project works and its technology gets adopted. As such, it's the people who have accumulated XRP that will be left holding massive bags. Larry wanted to point that Ripple's continued sale of XRP has so far earned it around $1.2 billion. Ripple used the proceeds of these sales to fund its projects as well as support strategic startup and partners like MoneyGram. While sharing Larry's remarks about Ripple and XRP, Peter Todd opined that just like most ICOs, XRP doesn't really need to exist, claiming that the crypto itself doesn't offer any real rights of ownership to buyers. So that's Peter's opinion, and on that one point, he is 100% correct. Owning XRP will not give you ownership to Ripple, the company. Two different entities, okay? And I know that there's confusion there, but I think that this main point is going to be played out in the courts. If you're not aware of XRP, or actually, no, sorry, Ripple was taken to court by a couple of investors who lost money by investing into XRP back in, I think, in 2017. And so they lost a lot of money, and they're blaming Ripple. So again, no one takes responsibility for what they do or do their own research. They just want to bring a suit, and they say that, hey, this is a security. So the big thing about having to be a security is it decentralized? And do you have ownership in the company? There's a lot of nuances to that, and I am not a lawyer, obviously. But the information that I have, it'll be played out in the court. I don't think it's a security. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it's not for me to decide. I'm not a lawyer or a judge. But I will say this, though. Peter Todd's opinion is some of the opinions that I see a lot of in the comments section. And what I thought to myself was this. I don't think people understand what XRP is and Ripple. I don't think they understand that XRP was created first and then Ripple came along. I don't think they understand that XRP is actually decentralized. I don't think they understand the difference between Xcurrent, Xrapid, or ODL. And I don't think they understand how SWIFT works as far as cross-border payments, the outrageous fees and problems that they have and how much it sucks, and how XRP is going to change that. I'm going to do another video, and this is a lot of information to condense, and not to make it a 30-minute video, but to condense everything and boil it down. as to why XRP, and I hear this all the time, is a scam. It doesn't work. It has no function. It shouldn't exist. And it's because Bitcoin is kind of easy to understand, right? We got money. We don't like using money. So let's use a currency that's digital. Okay, makes sense. But XRP, cross-border payments always use Bitcoin. And, Bitcoin's decentralized, and XRP was, made by a company and pre-mined, and that doesn't make any sense. And, we can move, this doesn't need to happen. And on the surface, I understand why people say it, because it's confusing. But if we look deeper, there's a deeper piece of information, and I'm going to make it simple, and I'll make a video later. Anyhow, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys can do me a favor, if you could do me a favor, my 1%er, just like the video, comment below if you said this makes sense or it made no sense. Rob, this guy doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated. Also, I just want to say thanks. Happy holidays to everybody, and I will see you on the next one.